ACI is capable of performing seamlessly cross-data center microsegmentation based on VM attributes such as VM name, data center name, VM tags, and obviously network attributes like IP address and MAC address. This slide demonstration will show you how that is performed. The setup will look like the following. We have one pod where there is one vCenter called DC1 vCenter, and then 3 hosts attached to this fabric. There is one bare metal device sent to a server, and then 2 ESXi hosts which are managed by the vCenter DC1. The second pod will have a third ESXi host which is managed by vCenter DC2 located in pod 2. The 2 fabrics are connected through an IPN network, so this IPN will be attached to the spines of the different pods. In terms of workload, we're going to have one database which is located in pod 1. So this database is attached through ACI in a database endpoint group. Then we're going to have one endpoint group, WordPress web, which is stretched across 2 different vCenters. So it's a port group which is populated in a VDS, both in vCenter DC1 and in vCenter DC2. On this endpoint group, there are attached 4 VMs. 2 of them are meant to be in production, so the one highlighted in pink here, and the other 2 are highlighted in yellow, and they're supposed to be WordPress development web servers. So the goal of the test is to verify that a client which is sitting outside of the network based on its subnet will be able either to reach the production network or the development network. So we'll see indeed the production client will only be able to access the WordPress prod DC1 and WordPress prod DC2 VMs, while the development client sitting outside of the ACI fabric behind the CSR1KV will only be able to reach the dev DC1 and dev DC2 WordPress VMs. The contract that we'll be defining in order to have this communication working are the following. So we're going to have what is called a base EPG, where initially all the 4 VMs will be located, and this is actually isolated. So at the beginning there will be no connection from the outside world to those VMs. Eventually we will add a VM tag to the 4 VMs, so a VM tag of prod, and this will automatically classify the VMs into the microsegmented EPG. So ACI will do that job transparently just by applying the VM tag to the virtual machines. And then the other 2 VMs will be instead tagged with the dev VM tag, and this will automatically enable ACI to classify those in a microsegmented EPG. Those microsegmented EPG will have, in fact, a connection to the outside world, so specifically the production network will have a connection to the production external, while the dev EPG will have only connection to the dev external network. And obviously both of them will have access to the bare metal device, so the database server which will be used by the WordPress applications. Let's see now in practice how that works. We are in ACI here, and we see that there is indeed a WordPress web EPG where all the 4 VMs are living at the moment. I've got 2 microsegmented EPG. One is called WordPress web prods, and indeed there is a microsegmented attributes which classifies VM tags based on category env and tag prod, and this at the moment has no VM attached to it, so it's empty. And then there is a second microsegmented EPG. This in fact has a category env VM tag and selecting for the tag DEV, the development tag Also, this one at the moment is empty, so no VMs are living there. If I move to my cross vCenter solution in my 2 data center, I see that the 4 VMs in fact are attached to the same port group, the WordPress web. And I see that all of them are attached to the same port group, right? So that's how they end up being in the EPG WordPress web. Now, in order to verify the external connection, I will have a look at my development test Windows machine, which is connected in the external world to my ACI fabric through the CSR1 KV. And in fact, at the moment, I see that there is no connection to any of the VM. The ping is failing both for the production and the development one. Same thing is happening, in fact, on the production test client, where I see the pings are failing everywhere. So how do I make this work? I will assign now a development tag on the development virtual machine. So I will select dev tag here, and I will select the production DC1, a production VM tag. Same thing I will do in DC2. So I will assign to development VM a dev tag, and eventually a production tag to the production VM. So let me do that. If I now go back to the ACI fabric, I will be able to see that the WordPress web in the operational tab will have no virtual machine anymore. So automatically ACI has shifted those virtual machine based of their VM tag to the microsegmented EPG, the WordPress web dev and the WordPress web prod. So I will see the 2 virtual machines shifted in the right microsegmented EPG. If I connect now to my production external client, I see that pings start to work only towards the production environments, .100 and .200. The other 2, the development VM, are not being able to be pinged because the contracts do not allow that. And in fact, I should be able also to load the WordPress web page. On the other external development client, I see that I can ping instead development VMs, but I cannot ping still the production VM as I expected. So now I'll be able also to load the WordPress page and have access to my web servers. So we have seen and we have proven from a live demo that ACI is capable of performing microsegmentation cross vCenter, in this case based on VM tags, but also based on any other attributes of the VM or a network attributes. Thanks for watching.